Soldats out here.
They couldn't use the railway, so that just leaves...
Advantage is ours. Let's finish him. I'll handle it.
Let's move.
Onward! There! It's my turn! Ha! Oh, we did it! Seize the moment!
Okay.
Here I go.
Understood. Okay. Ha!
My turn. Targets eliminated. Let's get going.
Please tell me that's Sender Gate.
We're almost there.
Seize the moment!
My turn.
Let's move. Second form. Yeah! That's that. Let's keep moving. We're finally here.
gate sure is imposing.
And well guarded, too.
I'm not surprised. I doubt that was the first battle to take place here since the war started. I just hope the Lieutenant General is able to meet with us.
Who goes then?
Whoa, hang on a sec.
What are a bunch of civilians like you doing in a place like this? You sure don't look like you're from the settlement.
Put your hands in the air.
Please wait. We come in peace. While I may not be traveling in military uniform, I am Captain Claire Revelt of the Railway Military Police. If at all possible, we'd like to request a meeting with Lieutenant General Vander.
You're the Icy Maiden?
The rest of us are students at Thor's Military Academy. We only just arrived at the Highlands.
Thor's, you say? Wasn't there a bunch of students from Thor's who came here on a field study a few months back? Now that you mention it, young man, you do look kind of familiar.
Rest assured, they are exactly who they claim to be.
Lieutenant General!
Good day, sir.
So he's...
It has been some time, Rein Schwarzer of Class 7. I presume those of you I don't recognize are classmates whose field studies took place elsewhere.
Yep.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good day, General.
I'm impressed you were able to make it here. The ferocity of this war raging around us grows worse by the day. Come, it would be my honor to speak with you, field any questions you may have in my office.
get going. Yeah!
This is so cool!
It feels like we're one with the wind.
I'm glad I still remember how to ride a horse.
Yeah! The settlement's to the left of here.
We can finally see Gaius' home! Oh, that treasure chest looks really nice.
Bring it on!
My turn.
Understood. Bring down!
Let's move!
It's my turn! Hey!
Okay. Target's eliminated. Let's get going.
Yeah! The settlement's dead ahead.
You think we'll find Gaius there?
If they've started evacuating, it's hard to say.
Eliminating targets.
Impossible!
Here I go. Burn to ash. Fall!
Curse you!
All right.
Curse you!
Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
Is everyone alright?
Gaius!
You're here!
Nice timing.
I'm just glad I'm not too late. Now, allow me to fight at your side.
Damn, they weren't alone!
I wasn't expecting a horseman to come to their aid. Well played. Still, if that's how you want to do things, then... This is the Nace platoon. Acknowledged. Our work is hereby complete. Our patrol is over. We're withdrawing to the watchtower.
Yeah!
We got lucky.
Whew, that was looking really bad for a minute.
They behaved like a high-ranking Jaeger Corps to the very end. Precise and logical. But they were using a communications device, weren't they?
Yeah. Which begs the question, how was Needhog able to use one when the 3rd Armored Division can't?
It's good to see you guys.
You were right on time, Gaius. Thanks for saving us. I don't know what we would have done without you.
No thanks needed between old friends. Funny. It's only now starting to sink in that it's really you. I've been praying for this day to come since the day we parted. It brings me more joy than I can express to see you standing before me.
I feel the same way. When we parted, you put yourself in harm's way to protect a guy like me. And here you are doing it again. Thanks for never giving up on me, Gaius.
You haven't already forgotten what I told you, have you? The Empire's like a second home to me. And that's thanks to you and the rest of Class 7. And no hardship is too great to endure for the sake of my homeland. As sure as the wind blows on a peaceful day, that will never change. Not now?
That's one less person to worry about.
It brings me joy to see you two safe and sound as well. I wasn't expecting you to come all the way to Nord to find me.
After we found out you were here, how could we not? Although this place is so beautiful, it's almost worth coming just for the view.
Yeah. The scenery is so relaxing.
I'm happy to hear you say so.
And yet this beautiful land is gradually being engulfed by the flames of war.
Yeah, we can't just stand back and allow that to keep happening.
What do you guys say we talk more while we move? I'll guide you over to Lake Lacrima.
That's where Gwyn's cabin is, isn't it?
Indeed. We've all moved over there for the time being, Elisa and Milliam included.
Well, that was easy.
Now we know who the other two are.
So Milliam is okay.
You led them to safety, I'm guessing?
No, even if I know the area, they've done far more for me than I have for them. But you'll see soon enough. I'll show you the fastest route there.
get going! Yeah!
Winds, give us your blessing.
My turn.
My turn.
Leave it to me. My force! Together, we're unbeatable. Oh, that's a fine-looking treasure chest.
Yeah!
Hostile spotted. Beginning come. My turn. Hostiles neutralized. Guess we're...
Yeah!
Oh, that's a fine-looking treasure chest. Oh, that's a fine-looking treasure chest. Wings, give us your blessing.
Okay.
Here I go! Sit! Okay, it's safe for now. Yeah!
This way leads to the northeastern part of the Highlands.
It's gonna be my first time riding this far.
Yeah!
Oh, that's a fine-looking treasure chest.
Yeah! Bring it on!
Okay.
Let's move! Second floor! Game! That's that. Let's keep moving. Yeah!
Reen, over there!
It's huge! I've never seen anything like it!
Ugh, there was a beast just like it in the old schoolhouse. Stay back, Grandfather. Milliam and I can take care of this. Yeah, this'll be a piece of cake! Lemmy! Go, go, go! What? Is it that strong? Ugh, this beast is downright nasty compared to the others around here. We are so screwed.
Run away, now! Forget about me, just run!
Elisa! Milliam!
What?
Elisa! Milliam!
Are you both alright?
We'll back you up.
Well, if it isn't Gaius, and you're...
Green! You're totally alive! And Claire's with you too? Double score!
We can talk later. Our first priority is taking down this beast.
Just be careful. This is no ordinary beast. It's a cryptid. Gotcha. Ready? Careful. This one looks strong.
Here I go! Alright, let's do this!
Leave it to me! Okay. Focus. Activate. Yes, sir! Get him! No problem. Here I go! Overdrive! Dance for me! Great White, reside in my bow! Radiant Arc!
My turn! Second form, Gale! We did it, Elisa!
We really do make a great team.
Down it goes.
Yeah, that should have done it.
Oh, thank Adios. But what a monster! The one in the old schoolhouse was strong too, but this seems even stronger.
You called it a cryptid, right? Right. Ordinarily, cryptids shouldn't exist on this plane to begin with. But there's something abnormal taking place here in Erebonia. And it's not the war. I can only assume that abnormality having an effect on the land is what caused it to appear.
Some abnormality?
Are you implying that something else might be happening at the same time as the war?
Claire! I'm so happy to see you!
Milliam, I'm so glad that you're all right. It's wonderful to see you again.
Yeah, same to you. That new outfit you got looks smoking on you too.
Smoking, huh?
Reen! It's really you, isn't it? It's really you? I can't believe I'm finally seeing you again.
Neither can I. So, have you been doing okay? I'm glad to see you were able to find Gwyn at least.
Yeah, Wait a minute! Never mind me! What about you? Where have you been ever since we parted back at Trista? And how did you end up coming here? And I can see how you would be with Celine, but how come you're with the others?
It's a long story. I'll fill you in on all the details you want later, but that'll have to do for now. Sorry for being a pain.
Oh, enough of that. I should be the one apologizing. I'm so sorry for all we put you through.
Huh? What are you sorry for?
We knew just how much it would hurt you to part with us like that. We knew our choice would bring you nothing but suffering and misery. We knew that you'd blame yourself for what happened, for not being able to find a better way. But that was the only choice we had. At the end of the day, we believed that was the best thing for all of us, and for this country as a whole. Even if it meant willingly forcing all of the burden onto you. I'm so sorry, Rain.
Please. You've got nothing to apologize for. You're right. You didn't have a choice. There was no other way. But here we are, together again. And it was only because I could trust in all of you that I was able to come this far. I couldn't be more grateful. If anything, I should be thanking you. So, that's exactly what I'm going to say. Thank you, Alisa.
You big goof. This all feels like a dream. At least now I'll be able to keep that promise.
Promise?
And when we meet again, I'll tell you everything that's in my heart.
Oh.
Not now, though. These things are all about timing. No, forget I said that. Thank you, Reen. Thank you for coming back to us.
And from this point on, I won't be going anywhere without you.
Oh boy.
Always good to see young people living up their youth. I'm surprised you've got no problems with sharing a passionate embrace like that in front of your old grandpa, though. Not that I mind, of course.
It was just, I got all emotional seeing him again, and don't go reading anything into it, okay?
Sounding mighty suspicious to me.
Okay, it's Milliam time!
Whoa, hold up.
Oh, I missed you so much, Reen! Wasn't expecting you to be hanging out with Claire, though.
Well, suffice it to say, a lot's happened.
I wasn't expecting you to be with Alisa and Gaius either, to be honest. I would have thought you returned to the intelligence division.
I didn't get any orders to go back, and I know Nord pretty okay. So I wanted to hang out with Alisa and Gaius until we found everybody.
Really? Well, thanks for sticking around. Class 7 wouldn't be complete without you, Milliam. I hope we can keep counting on you.
Yep, always and forever. It's nice seeing us all together like this.
And hopefully, we can find the rest of us soon too.
I'm so happy for you all.
Allow me to offer my congratulations, too. I'm sure you must have a lot of catching up to do, but I think we should return to the lake for now. I managed to get a look at how things are in the watchtower.
The watchtower?
Lacan did say that you'd gone to investigate something.
It looked like the damage from the attack earlier this year had been repaired, but are you suggesting it has something to do with the orbital communication problems in the region?
It certainly does. It's got this really annoying thingy on it, you see. My turn. I can do this. Righto!
Let's move. Let's get going.
Careful! This one looks strong!
Let's move!
Okay.
Onward! Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
Yeah!
Whoa!
This one's dangerous. Stand your... My turn. Eliminating targets.
Let's move!
No problem. We made it out in one piece.
Yeah!
This one's dangerous. Stand your... My turn.
My turn!
Onward! There!
I can do this. Turn to flames. Burn! We made it out in one piece.
Yeah!
Oh, that's a fine looking treasure chest.
Yeah!
Oh, that treasure chest looks really nice.
Be careful, everyone.
Let's move! Second form! Game!
Yes, sir! I can do this. We made it out in one piece.
Yeah!
Careful! This one looks strong!
My turn!
No problem.
Alright. Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
Lemmy, give me a hand! Down you come! Another chance! Gotcha! Right. Let's go! That takes care of them. Yeah! Careful! This one looks strong.
Here I go!
Righto! There! No problem.
All right. Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
Yeah! spy with my little eye the goods. Got my eye on the prize! Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! This terrain is nuts! Tell me about it. Got my eye on the prize! Bring it on!
Let's move!
Second form, begin!
Here I go! Now's our chance! Gotcha!
Understood. Ha! Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
Yeah! Huh? Where's this place go? Doesn't look like a cave at least.
Oh!
Yeah! Seriously, where are we? This place is so weird! Well, if you're gonna walk around, try not to get yourselves killed.
Winds, give us your blessing.
No problem. You're not getting away. Molten sword! Now's our chance.
All right. Sow the wind. Reap the whirlwind.
I can do this. Fire!
It's my turn. Yeah, there. I go where the wind takes me.
Chance. Let's get him! Here we go.
All right. There!
No problem. Fire! We made it out in one piece. I spy with my little eye the goods. I spy with my little eye the goods.
Enemy sighted. Prepare for battle.
My turn. Second form. Game!
No problem. Pierce them! Mirage arrow! That takes care of them.
Watch out! This is a tough one! Let's move! Second form! Gale!
I can do this. Here I go! There!
All right. There! Ceasing hostilities. Let's move onward.
My turn!
I can do this.
All right.
Righto! Come on, lady! Transform! Setting target. Selected cannon, fire! Wave roll! Yeah, you didn't stand a chance! Oh, look! There's a treasure chest! Let's go here! Looks nasty. Try to be careful, everyone.
we're strong enough to take that monster on.
alert, everyone!
Here I go!
I can do this. Fire! Righto!
All right.
Let's move! Sit! Okay, it's safer now.
Yeah! We got this!
Here I go! Second form! Get! Okay, it's safer now.
Yeah! Got my eye on the prize! Soldats!
We should avoid getting too close.
Agreed. Let's go another way.
Yeah! Are you sure?
Stay alert, everyone!
My turn! Ha! Now's our chance!
An opening!
You're finished!
Here I go! No problem. That takes care of them. Okie doke, let's get started!
Leave it to me.
Here I go! Get him!
Leave it to me. Power with I go where the wind takes me.
Yeah!
That plateau was around here, right?
Yeah, we ended up climbing, somewhere around there.
move.
No problem. Alright, let's keep on moving. There's a treasure chest! Scoochy, scoochy, scoosh! Ooh, is it really necessary for us to crawl in here? Oh, look! There's a treasure chest!
Watch out! This is a tough one! My turn! Second form! Impossible! We'll cut our own path!
Another duct? Come on, who cares if the boys get a sneak peek of your panties? I do!
Milliam.
Keep it up, everyone!
Alright, let's keep on moving.
Back outside.
Right, it's just above here.
I sincerely regret to inform you that won't be possible.
I recognize that voice.
Yeah, it's gotta be him.
Phantom Thief B? What are you doing here?
So you finally revealed yourself. I take it you're here as one of Ouroboros' enforcers.
Aha! It's a pleasure to meet you, icy maiden. I'm flattered a woman as stunning as you is so remarkably well informed of yours truly. Good day to you all, fair students of Class 7. I need no introduction, I'm sure, but if I may kindly refresh your memories, I am Blueblood, Enforcer number 10 of Ouroboros, also known as the Phantom Thief. I've been longing to meet you all again during these months we've been apart. Our meeting in Ymir was lovely, but lamentably far too brief.
Ugh.
What are you doing here anyway? If you're planning on getting in our way, we're not backing down without a fight.
Please, there's no need to be so aggressive. I live for the pursuit of beauty. And so it was that I came to this distant land today. Obstructing you is but a secondary objective.
Beauty?
What are you implying?
How could you not understand? Look around you. This land is rife with the exquisite scent of nature, as well as home to an abundance of life. But once the flames of war sweep these highlands, all of what we see will be lost in mere moments. And the one thing that can make it all the more breathtaking is the moment where it is robbed of its own beauty. What other reason would one such as myself have to come here, other than to witness such a dazzling demise?
You son of a...
You really are messed up in the head. Lord LeBlanc, that should be enough playing around.
Her!
What's with that doll?
Huh? The Ashen Awakener and his supporters have been sighted. While currently doing so is not outlined as part of our objective, I think it may be best to capture them while we have the chance.
Why, I couldn't agree more. And yet there are times when the prologue to a battle is sweeter than the finest of wines. Simply carrying out orders without taking the time to enjoy the opportunities they present seems rather a shame, don't you think?
I think not.
Who is she?
She's the one who kidnapped Elise and Princess Alphen. She was acting on orders from Beta, but she was the one who did it while using that black doll of hers.
A little thing like her did all that? And that doll looks just like Ergatlum, doesn't it?
But why?
Tell us, just who are you? Are you with the Society? And what did you do with Elise and Princess Alphen?
The Society? I presume you are referring to Ouroboros. Negative. I do not belong to that organization.
It's as she says. Sadly, she's not among our numbers. I wouldn't go so far as to deny that she has any relation to us at all, but for the present, think of her as a delightful little someone cooperating with the Noble Alliance, much like ourselves.
Like Zephyr. And like Crow, too. We don't have time to waste with idle chatter. I believe this discussion has gone on for long enough. My name is Altina Orion. My codename is Black Rabbit. And this is Clown Soleus. Commencing apprehension of targets.
Black Rabbit. And her name's Orion, too.
You're just itching for a fight, aren't ya? Come on, Lammy! I say we give her what she wants!
How wonderful! A contest of strength between black and white! Ready yourselves, Class 7! When last we met, you tasted of bitter, unripened fruits. Allow me to sample how much you've matured since.
Here he comes! A wind that blows across the highlands. Grant us strength!
Aha! Then let us begin.
Let's move!
I can do this! Hang in there!
Thanks!
Thank you. Onward. No more. Mortal arise! Now!
Got you! Ha! Here I go! There! Ha! Now's our chance! Let's go, everyone!
Yes, sir!
Wonderful!
Health depleting. Curious. Yes, sir! There! Now's our chance! Gotcha!
No, you don't!
Laser arm. Activate. Go! No problem.
Understood. There! Now!
Righto!
Here I go!
Come, my minions!
I can do this.
My turn.
All right.
Such beauty. Alright, let's keep on moving.
I've got it!
Damn, they're strong.
Marvelous. Your taste is so much sweeter than I was expecting. It looks as though they don't intend to be taken without a fight, my lady.
Raising threat level appropriately. The white doll fought more ably than the specifications I was informed of suggested as well. Really? Still, you're connected too, aren't you?
So, ready to start talking, Altina? Where are Elise and Princess Alphen? There better not be a scratch on them.
I don't know the answer to your question. I've yet to be informed of their whereabouts since I delivered them to Lord Rufus Alborea.
Wait, Rufus?
Isn't that Eustace's brother? It sure is.
He's been making quite the name for himself as the Noble Alliance's chief of staff. It was largely thanks to his skill that the Imperial Army's armored divisions have become split throughout the country. His sharp mind for politics has played no small part either.
Why would he do that?
Regardless, you two seem to know the answers to many questions we've had regarding matters within the Alliance, and we plan on having you answer each and every one of them once we've seen our operation through.
I don't understand.
How very pitiful. They don't seem to realize that we still hold the upper hand.
What the?
I can't move.
Is this shadow weaving?
It is but one of many skills I possess, and now each and every one of you are caged birds, powerless to fight back.
How could we have known he could do this?
How could I have been so careless?
Commencing apprehension of targets.
But not to worry. We won't be whisking you away from this land just yet. I wouldn't want to deny you the chance to watch it burn.
This isn't over yet!
Green, wait! You're not doing what I think you're doing, are you? Green, you don't have to...
You're as fascinating as always. With the strength of an ogre, you may very well be able to break free of my shadow weaving. Go! Unleash the mystery within yourself!
That won't be necessary.
What?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Were those wires?
Sharon?
How in the world? Is that really you, Sharon? But of course, I've come to collect you, my lady. And I'm relieved to see so many of your classmates are in good health.
Now here's a face I wasn't expecting to bump into on foreign soil. This too must be the will of the goddess. Nay, perhaps it would be more fitting to think it the guidance of our Grandmaster. It's been some time, Enforcer number 9.
I'm afraid it's neither.
I am a loyal servant of the Rhineford family. What more reason do I need to come to Lady Elisa's aid?
Thank you, Sharon. She's still the same super maid as always.
She couldn't have appeared at a better time.
So your love and devotion is for the Rhineford family now? What of your love for the Grandmaster?
All I'm doing is prioritizing the Rhineford family over my duties as a member of Ouroboros. Nothing more, nothing...
I see. I take it you've no intention of following the same path as Joshua and Ren.
That path was closed to me long ago. Still, if you intend to harm those I love in your pursuit of beauty, then I'll show not the slightest mercy in severing your ambitions.
Talk about scary. Sharon!
I couldn't be more pleased to hear as much from the severing chains. Very well. Then I shall respond in kind with all that I...
What are you all doing down there?
No.
An Alliance airship.
They're back already?
So, you think you can infiltrate our watchtower and get away with it, do you? Stay right where you are. You're under arrest.
They've brought soldats too!
This isn't good. We're completely surrounded.
And we were so close to disabling that jammer too. It's time we retreat.
What boorish fools. Still, even if we were to leave, you have nowhere left to run.
That's where you're wrong.
Oh?
Is this what was mentioned in that report? Are you calling Valamar? Oh! Is he all ready to go? He should have plenty of mana now.
Right. Heed my call.
Valamar, the Ashen Knight!
Acknowledged.
Such beauty!
I assume that to be the Ashen Knight.
They'll take care of that airship and the soldats. I'll leave everything here to you guys.
Rain?
You seriously gonna jump? Stop! That's dangerous!
What's the ash-colored knight doing here? You really have joined forces with the Imperial Army, haven't you?
No, we haven't. But we're not going to stand by and let anyone threaten the peace of Nord.
Don't get cocky, kid! Back me up from above! May glory shine upon us for defeating that knight! Presenting it to Duke Kayad! Yes, sir!
Stay aware of what's happening in the sky. If you get caught off guard because you were too busy dealing with the enemies on the ground, it's gonna hurt.
I know. We're just going to have to find an opening and take advantage of it.
Use your link swell.
Gotcha!
It's working. No problem. Keep it up.
Gotcha!
That's it. Just a little more. working! Keep it up!
Let's go! My sword will cleave open the way!
That's it! Just a little more! Great! No just problem. One more!
Bring it on! Gotcha! Now! Gotcha! Time!
That's it! No just a little more!
Gotcha! Let's go!
Come on, Minnie!
Right!
Sunlight
Sunlight
Well done! You did great that time!
How can this be happening?
The victory's mine, unless you're in the mood for round two.
Withdraw! We are abandoning the watchtower to the airship! The rendezvous with the forces in Erebonia! Yes, sir!
They're running away!
Not quite the original plan, but all's well that ends well.
That's mission complete, I guess.
Master Reen gave a most impressive performance, didn't he?
I just hope he doesn't make a habit of jumping off of rooftops.
He may be reckless from time to time, but we wouldn't have him any other way.
I suppose it's time we take our leave. Know that I leave with no regrets. I was able to behold the famous Ashen Knight in person, and for that, it was all worthwhile. Do you have any objections, Black Rabbit?
Not especially. Being presented the opportunity to adjust the threat levels of multiple targets at once proved beneficial for me as well. They're getting away!
Don't move. We have questions, and we know you're the one with the answers.
The curtains have only just risen for the Erebonian stage. I wonder what incredible fate will befall our actors. I cannot wait to see how each of you play your respective role. Particularly you, Severing Chains.
My part in all this is long been said, but feel free to sit among the audience and watch. There is nothing in this world that can cause my love for the Rhineford family to sway.
Excuse us. Orion, Arrogant Limb, may we meet again?
Yeah, totally! And see you, Sammy!
Sammy?
Please refrain from confusing Count Soleus.
If you would, do pass on my regards to Reen Schwarzer. And now, I bid you adieu!
That was exhausting.
At least we were able to make it through unscathed.
Now that they're gone, we should set about disabling that device. Once that's done, the Highlands should start returning to normality.
Yeah, you're right. And just how do you know what we're here for?
Oh, I always know what you're thinking, my lady.
That's our Sharon.
Ah, you went up a rank. Here's a little something from the guild. Nice work. You did all right, I guess.
Oh, look! There's a treasure chest! Right, my turn. May I?
And here's the highway.
We'll need to turn right to reach the town then.
Let's move!